Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you all. Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our traditional gnocchi party. We do this 3 times a year because we love to share simple ways to gather more people together to learn authentic Italian recipes that bring joy to their family and friends, because ultimately for Chicca and for me, cooking is love. Looks like we've got some people from Canada, California, Delaware, San Francisco, someone from Pisa, right up the road from you, Chicca, Atlanta, South Carolina, Colorado. We got people all over. That's amazing. Let's officially get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our traditional gnocchi party wherever you are. If you're watching the replay in the future, we welcome you to our shared virtual kitchen where we can all come together, have fun, learn something new, and make delicious food. I'm Denise. I'm based just outside Portland, Oregon. Chicca's joining us from Tuscany. Hi, Chicca. How are you doing this evening?
Ciao a tutti, buongiorno. Here it's dinner time, so it's buonasera in Italian. So I'm here in my kitchen, and we are located on La Strada del Vino, the wine road that leads to Bulgaria, which is famous for super Tuscan wine. We are celebrating over 3 years of cooking online together. It's unbelievable. We started with the pandemic, and we are still here without pandemic. And so I want to welcome all the members from our cooking club that are joined today, and all people that are joining us for the first time.
All right.
Fantastic. I'm Paolo. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm based in England. I've been with the club for about 1.5 years. I used to live in Canada, but I'm Italian. And I met Chicca because I used to have a podcast, and she was my guest at one point, now in a long time ago. So we remain friends. Super happy to be here and help you with anything concerning the chat, so you can hopefully get a good answer from me.
Yeah, and I want to also introduce my husband, Arnaud. I forgot about him.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah. He's here. Can you show? He's French. Arnaud, but it's like the river, the French, the river in Florence. And he's the man behind the camera. Okay. So he's taking care of the video. Okay.
So as Paolo said, he'll be monitoring the chat and he'll help keep things technical going. Today, we'll be making flour gnocchi with pancetta and peas. The pancetta is optional. If you're a vegetarian, you can skip it. This class will be about 75 minutes, give or take. And after a brief introduction, we'll get cooking together. At the end, we're going to tell you a little bit more about what we'll be cooking in the new year and a special bonus we have for you today. I'm going to pull up a few pictures. Chicca, can you share a little bit about yourself and your cooking philosophy?
Yeah. Okay, my name is Chicca, not Chicca. That's the first thing I want to teach you. And I'm 100% Italian. You can tell from my Italian accent. And I'm an architect by trade and a proud mom. I have been a passionate cyclist, and I traveled for about 10 years around the world. I went in many places such as Alaska, Ecuador, Zimbabwe, New Zealand, Madagascar, Australia, just to name some places. I'm a home cook by passion. And in the past 20 years, I have been teaching people from all over the world to cook authentic Italian recipes in my home in Tuscany. I also try to infuse my students a little bit of my joy of cooking. I believe in home food and in the power of fresh and good ingredients. My recipes are mostly vegetarian, based on the Mediterranean diet, as I grew up and live on the west coast of Italy. My mantra in the kitchen is the best use of the simplest ingredients. 2 staples in my kitchen are my extra virgin olive oil pressed from the olives that grow on my property. We have every year freshly pressed extra virgin olive oil and the fresh herbs from the garden.
I met Chicca a few years ago on a cousin's trip to Tuscany. We stayed for 6 days and did 4 delicious cooking classes. By the end of the trip, Chicca and I were fast friends and joked we were just like sisters. When the pandemic started, Chicca moved her in-person classes online and created Chicca's Cooking Club. which we'll share more about at the end of the class. And now these few years later, I'm her co-host for the club. It's a dream come true. And as we like to say, the sisters are back together again. Here are some tips we learned from cooking with our club over the past 4 years. We've learned that when you get busy cooking, you can't always look at your screens. So Kika's going to walk us through everything step by step. I'll do my best to call your attention to important instructions along the way. Note that if we move on to the next step and you're not quite there yet, don't worry, just pause. Listen to the instructions, watch Kika's demonstration, and return to where you were. We strongly encourage you to refer back to the recipe PDF, and we'll put that in the chat one more time. And of course, the most important thing is to have fun.
Yes.
So Kika, we're almost ready to get started. But there are two questions that people probably want to know before they get started cooking. If someone isn't going to eat their gnocchi right away, what should they do?
Yeah, so we are in different time zones. So maybe it's early in the morning where you are, or maybe almost lunchtime. So if you are not ready to cook, to eat the gnocchi just right after class, you have two options. Either if you keep them on the counter and cook them later after we have been making the dough and shaping them together, or you can also freeze them. They keep very well in the freezer. I still have the first gnocchi I made in the pandemic 3 years ago. They are still there. I keep them like something bringing luck. and the sauce, it's very simple to put together. So either you can make it in advance if you're planning to eat your gnocchi today, or you just make it, keep it in the fridge in an airtight container for 2-3 days. Or I wouldn't suggest to freeze it because it's nice to have it fresh.
All right, now for the fun part, will you show us what you have prepped?
Yeah, so whenever I teach a class, or even if I cook for myself, I like to prep all the ingredients and the tools, because this will help me not running everywhere in the kitchen to look for this or for that. So you will be much more organized if you prep your ingredients and tools before starting cooking. So this is my advice for anything you are going to do. Be organized. Then I have a section here where I have all my ingredients to make the gnocchi. I want to call your attention to the two main ingredients that we are going to use, the flour and the water. It's very important that they have the same measurement in weight. I know we provided cups, but if you have weighed them with a scale, this will be much more accurate. I'm using today 00 flour, the 00 flour, the one that we recommend in our recipe, because this flour has a low gluten content, so the gnocchi will not turn out very gummy. If you're using AP flour, that's fine, and probably the result will be a little different. Then here you can see a lot of tools. It's like I have a gnocchi board, a shell, a mallet, different things. So you're thinking what this woman is going to do tonight? I'll show you later, because I'm going to use this tool to shape the gnocchi. And then I have here all the ingredients for the sauce. So I have my onion. I didn't find the leek. They are not in season yet in Tuscany. I have it's not pancetta, actually this is guanciale. It's the chick part, the pork cheek that we usually use to make carbonara and amatriciana. And a friend of ours who's a chef, he gave us the whole cheek of the pork, so we have the fridge full of pork cheek. So that's why I'm using this one. Then I have my peas, and then the Parmigiano already grated, and the extra virgin olive oil from the trees outside in the garden. One thing I want to make sure is that you have 2 bowls with the Parmigiano, because one goes to make the gnocchi, and the other one is to add to the gnocchi at the very end to the sauce. Okay, so this is the last ingredient we're going to add to the gnocchi. But to make the gnocchi dough, we're going to use some Parmigiano cheese. Okay. So shall we go? Shall we move on? Shall I go?
Let's get started. Yeah.
Let's get started. So I'm moving from the table to the stove, and I tell my team that I'm going to move because they have to switch the camera. So I always joke, I move like a sloth. So they know that I'm going to move on the other side of the kitchen. So I'm taking all my ingredients here, and you can see lots of pots and pans here, and they come from this company that provided us these beautiful pans. The name is Da Terra Cucina. They are made in Italy, but available in the States. And they're very, very nice. So the first thing we're going to make is the gnocchi dough. I have a small pot here. And the first thing to do is to add the water, the Parmigiano, the butter, a pinch of salt, and some black pepper, if you like it. The heat is still off. So I'm adding the water. So then the butter, voila, the Parmigiano, and a pinch of salt. If you're cooking with me, just do the same. Okay? And I like a little bit of black pepper, so just crank a little bit of black pepper. So at this stage, I want to just melt the Parmigiano and the butter and have a soft boil. So I go back with the lid, cover the pot, turn the heat to even medium high, but my burner is very small. So make sure that your burner is the heat is adequate to the size of your pan, and start the heat on. Okay, so I put the heat very low because usually my water boils very fast. Maybe because we are at the sea level, but you start boiling your water, and then we just look closely. We don't get distracted because the things here happen quite fast. And when the Parmigiano is melted, the butter is melted, we want to turn the heat off and add the flour in one step. Okay, so bring the flour close to your pot. And because we don't want to add the flour slowly, we really want to add the flour in one step, all at once, when the water is ready. So be there, don't text anyone, make sure you're concentrated, and just stir a little bit. I want to make sure that everything is okay. My Parmigiano is melting. I already can see this. And how many people are cooking with us, Denise?
We've got about 50 people cooking with us today.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So this gnocchi recipe is very easy. Even if you're a beginner, you're going to see how easy it is. Because gnocchi in Italy is just a universe of different, it's just a name for a shape of pasta, soft, round and soft. And the most popular are the potato gnocchi, but those are the most difficult to make. This one, even if I never made the gnocchi before, it's super easy to make. So, but I want to check again my pasta. My pasta with water, sorry. Just stir a little bit. It's not boiling yet. So we don't want to have like the water boiling very hard. We want to just a soft boiling. We really want to have some little bubbles. And at this point, we add the flour, turn the heat off, and stir very, very well with the wood spoon. So I hope everything is clear. Is everything clear?
I think so. It looks like we've got people cooking along, and they look like they're doing a great job.
Yeah, super. Okay, no, the butter is still there. So sometimes if you add the cold butter, it takes a little longer. My butter was not very cold, but in Tuscany in this moment, it's pretty windy. We have like a storm actually today, but it's warm. It's 15 degrees Celsius. I think it's about 40 Fahrenheit. I think. So it's pretty warm. Okay, I'm just checking the water. Not yet. Not yet. And remember, the quantity of flour and water, this is the most important thing. It should be the same. You can skip the butter. You can use extra virgin olive oil. You cannot add pepper. You can add another spice. You can experiment with different things. But the base of this gnocchi is the flour that it's cooked into the water to make the dough. So it's a very special kind of dough that we are making today. Not very popular. Maybe you will never find this in any other recipe books, but it's very popular in Italy. Okay, my water is boiling. So I turn the heat off. I have to go fast and add the flour in one step. And then take the spoon and stir. I don't know if you can see. So at this stage, the dough is super crumbly, and that's okay. That's perfectly normal. And it's becoming like a glue. Actually, some people call them glue gnocchi. You can see? Yeah, because it's like a glue. So the flour is cooked. This is different from the other recipe. We cook the flour, and this makes things extremely easy. So I'm going back to the main camera on the table, because now we are going to move the dough from the stove, from the pot to the work surface. Because at this point, we wanna just knead the dough a little bit. So you can see my dough is a super crumbly, doesn't look very nice. And I'm going to knead this with my hands. It's gonna be hot. So even if you make sure you can handle, I'm okay because I'm used to heat. And so I try to compress all the pieces together and knead the dough in this way. We don't want to over knead the dough, because this will develop too much gluten and the gnocchi will be hard. So we just want to combine better the flour and the water. So you place the dough ball in the middle of your work surface, and then with the heel of your hand, you just stretch the dough, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. Stretch away from you, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. Stretch, fold, rotate it, and repeat. And you don't have to apply too much pressure. If you were going to make like egg-based pasta, you need a lot of strength. In this case, you just need to add a light pressure to allow the flour to be well mixed with the water and have a smooth dough ball. It takes less than 1 minute. Usually when you make egg pasta, it takes at least 10 minutes of it's a hard workout.
Okay, Chicca,
So,
if you can, let's have everybody pause real quick and demonstrate the kneading process again. I think a lot of people were still at their stoves with their pastas.
yes, okay.
Take a look.
So take a look at me. Look at me. First of all, put the dough from the pot on the work surface. Compress with your hands all the pieces, and then with the heel of your hands, just stretch the dough, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. Stretch it, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. But my dough is already well combined, so you can see, because at the beginning you will see lots of flour bits in the dough, but in this way, it's still warm, but you see a smooth surface. So you can tell there is flour inside. So the aim of this kneading is just to have the flour completely dissolved together with the water. Okay? Maybe I don't know. Do you wanna? I can go over the camera. Maybe you can go. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me the bowl. Give me back the bowl. Okay. Yeah.
Does anybody have any issues that they're having with their dough? I'm looking at the screen. If you want to give me a wave, that we can have Chicca take a look at your dough. If you're having any issues, give me a little wave and I can bring you up. Okay. Looks like we've got one person. Kim, do you want me to bring you up? Okay.
So don't overwork, don't overknead. That's important.
All right.
Gnocchi will, yeah.
Let's see. Kim, did you want us to bring you up? Trying to find. Maybe she's fine. Okay, give me the wave if you want help.
Anybody needs help?
I guess we're good.
We're good. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's Karen. Let's go ahead and we're going to bring you up so you can show off your beautiful dough.
Oh, wow. Beautiful, Karen. Oh,
my husband did it. Step in.
Your husband. Bravo, husband.
Look at this.
You did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nancy, hi, Nancy. They were in the kitchen when we were there in October.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay, great. So now we're gonna shape the gnocchi. That's the other step. So we have made the dough. This dough doesn't need to rest. That's another good point, because when you make egg-based pasta dough, you need to rest the dough at least 15 minutes. This is already okay. So we're gonna take a piece of the dough. I can take half of it, and we make sure that the other part is covered. So the next step is to make ropes from which we cut little pillows to shape the gnocchi afterwards. So I cut the dough in half again, and I like to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just a drop, because this helps to shape the rope better. It's much easier. So then you start rolling like this, and then from the center, you start lightly applying a pressure to stretch your rope, and then you want to have like a rope which is thick as your index finger. I hope you don't have a big index finger, because we want to have a small gnocchi. But yeah, I think this is my finger and this is the rope. Okay. So I'm gonna take the other piece. So can you feel the dough? It's super easy to work with. Do you agree? Everyone, can you say yes with your?
We're getting some thumbs up, and we do have a few people that are just still kneading their dough. So we'll there's time to get caught up while we're making the ropes and things.
Yeah. So this is the second rope. Okay. Even if it breaks a little bit, that's okay. Doesn't matter. So I'll take another piece of the dough, like another quarter, and then I wet my hands, and then here we go. Make another rope. It's nice to have this warm dough when it's cold outside. My hands are warming up. It's a good activity to make. Okay. All right, and then the last part of the dough.
And so the important thing here is that they're all even. Correct?
Yeah. So you're gonna cut gnocchi all the same size, and the cooking time will be uniform. That's important. Okay. So these are the ropes. From the ropes, the next step will be cutting small pillows, like small pieces of dough, the size of a hazelnut. So you can make gnocchi in any size you like, but usually, they are not too big. It's nice to have like small little gnocchi. So here I have my 4 ropes. Here we go. And then we start cutting them. I start from the first one. Shall I go or shall we wait?
I think, yeah, if you can hold on just a minute and
Yeah.
let's and we did have someone join us a little bit late. So let's do a quick gallery view. And
Yeah.
does anybody have any issues and or want to show off their dough? Give me a wave and we'll bring you up. Jennifer, did you want to show us how your kneading is coming along? Yeah, I'm going to add you up to the spotlight and unmute you. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. It looks good.
Then I'm going to cut it.
Yeah.
How many
And make
pieces?
the ropes.
4 pieces?
I would do 4 pieces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Let's go back to gallery view and take a peek. And
Very
then,
nice.
Chicca, if you want to just real quick for our late starter, they're just now making their dough in the pot, so they're pretty far behind. So they're gonna do their best to catch up. But I think if you want to just do a real recap of what they did with the dough in the pot.
Yeah. So you start boiling your water, adding the Parmigiano, the butter, the salt, and the black pepper. When everything is melted and you start seeing soft bubbles just before the water boils very fast, you turn the heat off and add the flour in one step. Okay? And then you stir very quickly and vigorously with a wooden spoon, always with the heat off, and then you move the dough from the pot to the work surface. At this point, your dough will resemble not very nice. It's crumbly, and with your hands, you try to compress all the big pieces of dough together. You will still see bits of flour, and kneading the dough, you will get an homogeneous dough. Okay?
Okay, fantastic.
All right.
I think we can probably move on now.
Okay. So now we're going to cut the dough. You can use the scraper or a knife. And I'll cut maybe the scraper is better. So
Hey, Chicca,
I'll cut.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. It's probably time for you to start boiling your water.
Yes, thank you very much.
And
yeah,
if you're going to be cooking your gnocchi, you also should start boiling your water.
Yeah. If you're cooking your gnocchi, eating your gnocchi now, after class, you start boiling your water. If you're eating your gnocchi in 2-3 hours or tomorrow, don't start boiling the water. No, you don't need that. Okay. So I'm starting to cut the ropes, and this is the size that I'm looking for. Can you see? It's like the tip of my finger. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So Arno is bringing this closer to the camera so you can have a better look. It's
okay. So everybody has a chance to take a look at the size of the gnocchi.
Yeah, the size of the gnocchi. So because they grow, when you boil them, they fill up with water and they double the size. So if you have big pieces, they will be very big gnocchi, which is okay. But so this is the rope, and we can go fast. So people that are still kneading the dough can catch up.
So Chicca, you got different recipes, and there's a few more in the cookbook, correct?
Yeah, I have a cookbook here, my little cookbook, and there are 2 recipes that we love. One is a semolina gnocchi, and people from EBT that have been here, they have this type of gnocchi. They're also super easy to make. And then spinach and ricotta gnocchi. It's a typical recipe from Tuscany, where gnocchi are made with the filling of the ravioli. Basically, they're called nudi because it's like the filling of the ravioli without the pasta shell. They are naked, and they're super delicious. So this was one of the classes that we ran we had last year, I think, last season. Because this is, guys, next season of the cooking club will be the 13th season that we are cooking together. Okay.
Chicca, we've got Brent's dough is falling apart when he rolls it. So Brent, I think let's try to bring you up so that Chicca can take a look.
Yeah. Show me, Jean. Okay, did you put some oil on your hands? You did. Maybe it's a little dry. Yeah. Maybe try to put together again the dough. Wet your hands with a little water and knead just a little bit, and then maybe it should come together. Let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. I'm keeping cutting my ropes. So the gnocchi, actually, these pillows that we are cutting now from the ropes, they are just already gnocchi. They will be ready to be cooked and eaten. So, but the next step, like shaping the gnocchi, it's a nice step because we create a cavity, an indentation, a cavity on one side, and indentation on the other side, and this helps the sauce to stick. So I have all my little pillows here, so the size of the tip of your finger, and these are gnocchi. You just boil them, taste them, they are delicious. If you want to skip the next step, if you don't want to do the other part of the recipe, it's okay. So to shape the gnocchi, we can use different tools. The traditional way was the fork, and I'm grabbing my fork because I forgot the fork. It's in the pantry. Okay. Here. But and the other traditional tool is the gnocchi board. The gnocchi board, it's like a piece of wood with one side and the other side, or only one side with like an indentation. And I really like this one because my fork doesn't work very well as the gnocchi board. So anyway, I'll start showing the fork, which was the grandma method. And you can see, I just I take one of those little pillows, put it on top of the fork. With my thumb, I apply just a little pressure. And while applying the pressure, the gnocchi roll on itself. See, and this is the gnocchi. So you have an indentation on one side and the cavity on the other side. So I'll use the board now. And usually the board, when you use the board, you put the board with one side on the table so it's stable. Then again, you bring one of those pillows, and then starting from the very top of the pillow, you press with your thumb, applying the same pressure, quite a lot, don't be scared. And while pressing, you gently roll the gnocchi on the board. The gnocchi roll on itself, and you have a cavity on one side and the indentation on the other side. I'll do this again. Okay, maybe Arno is coming closer. So this is the gnocchi board, and my thumb is here. I press quite a good pressure, and while pressing, I roll. And the gnocchi roll on itself. You have cavity, indentation, and cavity. Again? Okay. Gnocchi board here. My thumb is here. Press. You see, it's pressing. And then apply the same pressure and then roll the gnocchi on the gnocchi board. I can do this again. So this is my thumb here. You start from the top, press very well, and it rolls. Okay.
Chicca, are you rolling it from cut in to cut end?
See.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How is it going with the dough that was falling apart?
Brent,
It's going
how's Brent's dough doing?
not good.
Still not good.
Still not good. Maybe the water was too hot. Or maybe the ratio. Yeah. Do you want to try again? Try again. Measure the flour and the water. Yeah.
Chicca, this was
Yeah.
happening to me once, Chicca, and my problem was that I was putting too much pressure. I was impatient to get my roll to the right size and pressing down too much rather than letting it roll and being light.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Brent, you can follow Paolo's suggestions.
Not sure it'll help you, but that was my problem.
And also, I think that I think we had this before, Chicca. Even if it isn't pretty, it's still going to taste delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Right.
yes, if you don't have a gnocchi board, you can use your fork. And then, Chicca, do you want to show some of the other tools that you have so that people have, if they don't have a fork, what other things they might have in their kitchen?
Yeah. So this is like a fancy cutter. You can cut potatoes or carrots, and this also does a nice indentation. Look, it's the same. It works the same way, but with the indentation on the other way around. Or I have a mallet here. See the mallet? You can use a sushi board. That's also very useful. And here you can see. I don't know if you can see the nice indentation.
Mallet makes little squares. That's cute.
Yeah, and then a shell. If you don't have anything, go to the beach, find a shell, and you have your tool. Like this. Look, it's always working like a. You need like a surface with kind of pattern. Anything you have at home can work. Just think of anything you have at home. So, but the gnocchi board, it's very cute. So I keep doing my gnocchi. I can go fast. If you want me to stop, Denise, if I have to stop and do this again slowly, just let me know.
Yeah, and we have Kara would like to have you take a look at her dough. So Kara, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up.
Hello.
Hello, Kara.
Hi.
Here's our dough.
It looks good. I would just need a little bit more because I can see some white flour. Can you see?
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, but it looks good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
No, don't squish it like that. No. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So somebody is still not muted.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's I think it's a nice. I love doing this gnocchi, shaping the gnocchi. It's a kind of meditation. You repeat always the same action, but you need to kind of pay attention on what you're doing, so you're in the present moment, so you don't get distracted, and then you get all these little pillows with different with these patterns. Yeah.
So it's mindful with you doing it in front of a bunch of cameras and hot lights and
Yeah.
people looking at you on a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so I can move here so you can watch again. Yeah. So especially for people that are behind. So I'll do slow again. So this is the gnocchi, the pillow. I press my thumb and roll it. So press from end to end. That's important. From the end of the pillow to the other end, and then while pressing the gnocchi roll on itself. Press, roll down to the end, to the other end. It's important to have the same like thickness all the way through your gnocchi, not only in the middle. You know, if you don't apply the same pressure from end to end, you end up to have just a cavity and the two ends are thicker compared to the middle of the gnocchi. So the cooking time is not very uniform.
And Chicca, could you also use like a cheese grater?
Yeah, you can use a cheese grater. So what kind of tools our friends are using today?
Yeah, if you want to drop that in the chat, what kind of tools everybody's using, that'd be great. I can take a look. It looks like we've got some forks. So maybe if you want to demonstrate the fork again. Oh yeah,
yeah.
So for the person that didn't have the gnocchi board, Kika's demonstrating on a cheese grater right now. So if you have a cheese grater, you can see she's doing it on that. Be careful to not cut your finger on it.
Yeah. So it looks like a little porcupine.
Oh, yeah.
Comes out. Yeah. And the fork. So it's like this. It's the same of the gnocchi board. Yeah.
So it looks like we've got some forks, some cheese graters, gnocchi boards.
Yeah, the sushi mat is good too. It's good because it has the sushi mat. You know, if you have this one, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
And we've got lots of people that are cooking together, so we've got some assembly lines going.
That's actually a great recipe to share with friends. Call your friends to come and help you to shape the gnocchi, especially if you're doing like a lot of gnocchi. It's nice to have a gnocchi party like we are doing tonight. Okay. Yeah, so I need to shape just few of them. So is everybody following, Denise?
It looks like it. We've got most people, I think, are getting caught up. We've got a handful of people that look like they might still be working on their ropes. And then remember, if you're not eating your gnocchi right away, you can leave it out. If you're not eating, if you're going to eat it tonight, you can leave it out until a little bit later. If you're on the West Coast, like I am, it's only 11:15, so you could leave it out till you eat it later this evening. But if you're going to cook it in a few days or longer, you'll probably want to freeze it. And you do that by putting it on a sheet pan in one layer, freeze it, and then once they're frozen, you can put them in a plastic bag, and they stay in the freezer for quite a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and you can see I didn't use any flour for dusting because these gnocchi, they don't stick. That's why they're easy. We don't need to add flour on your work surface. You don't need add flour on them, sprinkle flour on them because they don't stick. It's just like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
let's do a peek at the gallery view. Does anybody have else having some issues or want to do a little peek? Let Kika take a peek at how your process is doing. I'd love to show the assembly line group that was doing so well. If I can find them again. Let's see. How about Rainy? Can we bring you up?
Oh, ciao.
They're using a fork.
They're using a fork.
It's the fork.
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, it's going really good. I'm like very pleased. I think they all look so cute. We have like a little bowl of gnocchi now, and it looks so cute.
They're so cute. I agree. They're so cute.
Awesome. And it looks like we've got a family. Let's see, I think it was Dick's family. Dick, can I bring you up? Love to see you and add that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they got a whole group.
Wow, ciao. Fantastic. Dick, ciao.
Oh, they're using the cheese grater.
Yeah, cheese grater. Yeah.
And a board?
And
The board? Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
We read the recipe, so we've got a lot of gnocchi to make.
Yeah. Takes a while. Yeah. And how is Brent doing? Brent? Is he still?
Yeah, let's see how Brent's doing.
Yes.
You making a gnocchi? Oh yeah, good. Okay.
All
Good
right.
job. All right. All right. So now I'm moving back to the stove again. So we're gonna make the sauce.
Let's bring up real quick. We're gonna bring up Karen there.
Wow, Karen, that's fantastic. Amazing. With one hand. With one hand.
There's two people.
Two birds. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. All right. So I'm gonna make the sauce. We are going to make the sauce actually. So I'm moving from the main can to the kitchen stove.
One more time. Kara actually wanted to pop back up again. They were the ones that they showed you their dough real quick. So I want to bring them back up. See how the dough is progressing.
Oh yeah, they're making a gnocchi.
Oh, that looks great.
That looks great. Remember to press from end to end, okay? That's important. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Good job. Okay. Perfetto. Okay. So I want to move my gnocchi on a plate so when the water is boiling, it will be easier to add them to the pot. Okay. Just moving them. Maybe I know that you want to do this. No, I'll do that. Okay. See, they don't stick. It's I love this dough because it's so versatile. And I'm also moving all my ingredients to the kitchen stove.
Okay. Kika, I wanted to bring up one more person if I can.
Oh yeah.
I want to add I think he turned his camera off. I was going to add my friend Kerwin up, but he turned his camera off. So
I'm here, Denise.
Okay. All right.
I can show you. I got my tray. I got my tray done, and I use the board. Let me see if I can get this in my camera.
Let's see if I can get you back here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Wow. I can see him. Yeah.
So Chicca, good to see you again. This is the second time I've taken the class, and this is much better. Let me hold these up again. I did much better on the second time taking your class. So repeating is fantastic. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, repeating is very important. So in Latin, my grandmother was a professor of Latin and Greek. She was always saying, repetita iuvant. Repeating is good. Paolo, do you know this saying?
Yes, absolutely. It's the only Latin I know, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move to the stove. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is to the pancetta. I have two pans because one is to for the pancetta, for the bacon, for the pork cheek, whatever you're using, and the other one is for the leek or onion and peas. So you can also start everything in the same pan, but the only thing is that the bacon will get soft if we cook the bacon with the peas and the onion. So having the bacon cooked in another small pan will render the fat and get the bacon crispy. So I'm adding the bacon to the pan, the pancetta. It's a guanciale, so it's the cheek of the pork. It's pretty fatty, so I don't need to add any oil. But if your meat is a little dry, you can add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. I turn the heat here on medium. It's a very small burner, so it's okay if the heat is a little high. And while the pancetta while the bacon is cooking, I start also the sauce. So I need this. I'll come back here. So the heat here is off. It's not on. Whenever I start a saute, I always start with a cold pan. I drizzle the olive oil in the pan. I add the onions or the leek here, like this. I stir very well so they got covered with the oil. And then I turn the heat on, okay?
Okay, so that is something that I definitely learned from you. I think I learned the backwards way. We always turned the heat on and got the oil hot before we added the onions. So this is, you don't want to fry the onions.
Yeah. No, yeah, because what we want to do at this stage is to soften the vegetables, the onion, the leeks, and get the oil infused with the flavor of the onions. If you have the hot oil, when you add the leeks or the onion, they will fry, so they don't get softened. So having like a low medium heat, adding the vegetables, we call it soffritto. Even sometimes when you make a soffritto saute for your ragu, you always start with a cold pan. This will extract all the flavor. Okay, this is very important tip. Remember, next time you're going to saute anything to start the sauce, always start with a cold pan. So then you're going to see that some steam will come out from the vegetables, from the onions or the leeks, because they contain water, no, of course. And so this is the point where you want to turn the heat a little bit off and make sure that the oil never gets too hot. Also give like a look to your pancetta. My fat is rendering. And I don't think I need to teach anything here because the Americans are the kings of the pancetta. So I trust you. And so here you can see the onions are start sizzling in the extra virgin olive oil. And I don't know if you can see there is some steam coming up. So this is the water that it's coming from the onions. And at this point, I want to add a lid on top of it. So the steam will be trapped inside of the pan, and this will help to soften the onions and also keep the aroma in the oil. You don't want to fry anything. You just want to gently soften your vegetable, cook down in the warm oil, not very hot, okay?
Oh my gosh, I wish that Zoom would invent the smell-o-vision.
We should find a way. So the leek and the onions will be done when they get a little translucent. And if you see that things are going too fast, or maybe it's a little dry, add a splash of water. I always do that. And this really helps to cook down the vegetables without burning them. Because there's nothing worse to have a sauce with either the onions or the garlic, or your saute is burnt. You just want to really have the flavor of your vegetable infused in the oil. The oil will be the carrier of all the flavor. So that's why you don't want to burn anything in the oil, because otherwise you will taste burnt things, okay? So pancetta is still sizzling, lots of fat here, because this pork had a pretty fat cheek. Like this. Okay, maybe I add a little splash of water. And then after, we're going to add the peas. My peas are already were frozen and already, so they will cook in 5 minutes. So this will not take much. And here I have the Parmigiano. Remember, this is the last ingredient you're going to add to your gnocchi, okay? All right, my onions are done. So this recipe is super easy, and you can use also with different type of pasta, usually short pasta, and you can add different herbs. And also these gnocchi, they go well with any kind of sauce like seafood, or bell pepper sauce, tomato sauce. You can try, you can experiment with different things. Okay, so I put the lid on, I have added my peas, and in 5 minutes I will turn everything off. So I'm checking here the, the pancetta. There is a lot of fat because it was really, really fat, and I think it's also okay. So I checked my water because we're gonna have this gnocchi for dinner tonight. And so if you're cooking your gnocchi with me, this is something very important for Italians, because whenever we cook pasta, no matter what kind of pasta it is, we always add salt. Can we do this now, Denise, or should we wait?
Well, yeah, we could do it, but I want to make sure that everybody's pausing and taking a peek at their screen so they can see why and how you add your salt.
Okay. So sometimes I joke that in Italy, it's illegal not to put salt in your pasta water. Paolo, is this true? Do you agree?
Oh yeah, it's a crime, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a crime. So because you want to add salt to your pasta water, because when pasta cooks, gnocchi, spaghetti, penne, whatever you're using, they will absorb the water. And if water is bland, your pasta will be tasteful, okay, flavorful. So I have here like 3-4 liters of water, and this is coarse sea salt, and I'm adding 2 good handfuls. I want to show you. This is the coarse sea salt. It's not fine. That's important. This is coarse, and I'm adding 1, 2, and 3 handfuls of coarse sea salt, because this is quite a lot of water. If the quantity of water would be less, I would have added less water, less salt. Usually the ratio is 100 grams of water. It's about half cup, and 1 liter of water, 2 cups of water, and 10 grams of salt. Okay, the pancetta is done, and I'm turning the heat off. If your pancetta is crispy, just turn the heat off. And also my peas are done, and if your peas are done, turn the heat off. So it's nice to have some crispy pancetta, because you know gnocchi are soft. So we are creating a layer of texture. We are having the softness of the gnocchi and the crispiness of the pancetta. So I'm putting this away here for later. And now we are cooking the gnocchi. Can I go? Can I move on, Denise?
I think so. I think people are doing a little catch up, but I think that they're ready for you to move on.
Okay. And so this is a magic moment. I always love this moment, because these gnocchi it's very fun because when they are cooked, they come up to the surface. So this type of gnocchi, they don't stick to each other, so you don't have to cook them in batches, but just add them to the pasta water all at once. And once they are in, just stir gently, because they tend to just go down to the bottom of the pot. Just give a little move, and then you'll see they start floating on the surface of your water, of your pot. So this is going to be a lot of gnocchi for the 2 of us tonight. Voila. Okay. I'm just stirring a little bit. The gnocchi. Okay. And so leave them here. You'll see in 1 minute, they will come up to the surface. And at this point, you want to taste, because it's true they are cooked, but sometimes they need just these extra 30 seconds to really well cooked all the way through, because you don't want to taste the flour. The flour is already cooked with the water, but you can still feel some, taste of flour. So it's important to just taste them. Okay, I saw my first gnocchi. They're coming up. That's so fun.
Are you going to sing the song, Chicca?
We have a traditional song. I'm coming up. I think it's Diana Ross, but yeah. This is our gnocchi song now. Yeah. Now it's they're coming up.
A little dance. Got it. That's your dance party when you're
Yeah, that's my dance part. Gnocchi dance. Paolo, do you sing well? Can you sing?
Anybody sing well? Anybody's better.
No.
No? Who can sing? Do we have anyone that can sing the song? I'm coming up. Okay.
Let's see. Anybody want to? There. See, we got some people dancing. I'm coming. Are your gnocchi starting to
They're
float?
coming up. Here we go.
Your dog likes it.
Yeah, this is my dog Frida. This is Frida. She say, "What are you doing, Mom? Are you crazy tonight?"
Yeah. So so right now your sauce has the leeks and the peas in it. Your pancetta or your is in a different pan, still staying crispy.
Yeah.
And the Parmesan is not in it. The Parmesan is
no. So all the gnocchi are on the surface, but I taste one. I take one. I put it in a small bowl because it's super hot, and I cut in 2 parts and taste. You can check the salt too. They are ready. They are soft. Okay. So I add this directly at drain. I'm using this spider. How do you say it? Spider something. And or you can use also regular colander. Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. And you just spread them on the piece very well. So they are also delicious, like with some extra virgin olive oil and Parmigiano. So it's good to just drain them like this because you're gonna keep some pasta water that maybe you want to use to thin your sauce. And then at this point, the heat is always off. You add the Parmigiano. You never want to add the Parmigiano. This is another important tip. Whenever you add Parmigiano, always keep the heat off, because if the heat is on, the Parmigiano will cook and curd. So you just need a certain temperature to melt the Parmigiano, not too hot. And the heat from the pasta, the gnocchi, whatever, it's enough to melt the Parmigiano. So with a gentle motion from bottom to top, you mix everything. And here we go. And then on the top, we can add the crispy pancetta. So I don't know if you can see, this is the reason why we want to have a cavity. Can you see? We have a gnocchi with the peas inside.
Nice.
So the sauce is cut. Yeah. And I'm adding the crispy pancetta like this. Okay. I don't want to add all this fat because there's a lot of fat. And so, but if you like the fat, you can add your fat. I'm just avoiding too much fat. So too much fat. Arnaud loves the pancetta. Arnaud is French. You know, I said before, I believe in fresh and good ingredients. He believes in pancetta, beer, and chips. I think we have some cultural difference here. Yeah. Okay. So my gnocchi are done. I'm moving on the main cam so you can see the result with the camera. Arnaud, do you want to bring this closer? Yeah. Okay. So done. I want to taste one. At least I'm tasting. Super crispy pancetta. Very good with the gnocchi. Very good.
Nice. And
So
it looks like we've got some people. Tracy said that this is her second time taking the class, and the first time they were mushy. And the pot was very cloudy. So this time it's much better. They're turning out a little bit better. So nice.
Yeah.
I think that people are still moving along, and we're going to, while you're finishing up, we're going to do a little bit of song and dance about, she said, what would make them mushy?
What they make? The flour, maybe. What kind of flour is she using?
Tracy, let's bring Tracy up real quick.
Yeah.
Double O.
Double O. Are they still
Yes.
mushy? So gnocchi in general, they are soft. You don't have to think about having al dente gnocchi. It's something that doesn't exist. So they should be a little mushy.
They were pretty mushy. I mean, I felt like they kind of had like a sliminess to them almost.
Maybe the cheese or the butter. Next time, try to add less cheese and less butter.
Okay.
And cook a little less.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
And then another question was, can the sauce be frozen as well?
I say yes, but actually I don't see the point because it takes exactly 5 minutes to make the sauce, and it's always better to have it fresh. But yes, you can freeze it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, we hope that you were having fun with our gnocchi party. And while you're finishing up, we'd like to show you a little bit of why we'd like to invite you to be a part of our community. So we're going to share a few slides with you while you're getting finished up here, and then we can continue to answer questions as we move along. So Chicca, if you want to tell us a little bit about what's coming up.
Yeah. So these are the recipe for next season, and I'm very excited to share with you these 6 recipes. But before, I want to say why I love cooking and why I would like you to join, because all the recipes that I'm sharing with you are simple. I use always fresh and and seasonal ingredients. In my recipes usually have a very short list of ingredients. And I think cooking is something that it's mindful because you take time for yourself. And if you join us, you take 1 hour and share this hour with us. And also you learn something new. And also I think cooking brings me so much joy. And after cooking together, you can share what you have done with your friends and family. You can invite them to cook with you, of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, and then, talk about our what recipes we have coming up next season.
Yeah, so these are the 6 recipes that we are going to cook together next season, and they are all from my favorite traditions. You will learn new dishes, and I want to teach you, like I hope I did tonight, to embrace cooking in a more relaxing way in your home kitchen. I will also guide you step by step, like tonight. You can you can always ask questions in real time. And at the end of the season, you will be able to make homemade pasta by hand. You will learn how to use a pasta machine. And all these recipes are always super flexible, and you can add them to your repertoire. So the first recipe of the season is this Tuscan onion casserole. And it's we can say the ancestor of the French onion soup. Maybe French people will get a little bit pissed off hearing this, but this is actually a Tuscan recipe where you make an onion soup and then you bake it in the oven. And I will teach you how to make the super crunchy crostini, because they are made in a special way, easy to make but very different. So you get really the different texture between the crunchy of the bread and the softness of the onions. Then we have the second recipe is the cavatelli. Cavatelli, it's another kind of gnocchi, you can tell, but the dough is completely different. It's made with semolina flour, and it's not cooked flour. They're also easy to make, but in this case, we need to knead the dough a longer time, and we'll pair them with the delicious broccoli pesto. It's green, it's bright, and it's healthy. My recipes are always on the healthy side. Then we have a butternut squash soup. It's the season, it's a squash season. So I'll teach you my version. Super creamy, super healthy, easy to make, 3-4 ingredients. Then we'll cook together, always live from this kitchen. We always stream live. Then we're gonna make this very fun pasta. It's called garganelli. I don't know if you have heard this name. It's an egg. It's egg pasta. So we make the dough with flour and eggs. And then we're going to shape this pasta with the gnocchi board that you have already used today, but we make kind of penne, it's kind of penne. And we pair this pasta with a white ragu sauce that comes together very quickly. Then we're going to have pasta e patate. This is my all-time family favorite. We're going to use pasta mista. You can see there are different shapes of pasta. I will teach you what it means. And in this case, like in many Italian soups, pasta is cooked into the vegetables. And it's a super delicious recipe that I can't wait to share with you. I think it will be the hit of the season, at least for me. And then we have finally a dessert. And these are budini di riso, a Tuscan rice pudding tartlets. They are typically from Tuscany. They usually are served with coffee in the morning in the bars. But I think they are delicious. It's a shell of a pastry crust, and inside you have a rice pudding with the custard. Then you bake everything, and they're small, and so they make a very nice dessert. Yeah.
For our classes, we, like Chicca said, we use seasonal ingredients, and we're going to have 2 handmade pastas and 1 dessert. Chicca teaches both familiar recipes as well as some you might not have ever heard of, but are traditional regional dishes. And know you'll always get accurate recipes with a shopping list and the tools you'll need so you're set up for success. Okay, and we'd love for you to become a member of our cooking family. And we have a community that we've been cooking together for, over 3 years now. And our classes are starting on December 9th with a short holiday bonus gathering. Our official first class of the season is on January 9th, and we'll go through March 16th. As a part of our club, you'll also get to join a vibrant Facebook community of happy cooks from all over the world. And each recipe, there's a wine pairing suggested by our friend and member and professional, Paolo, say the word.
Sommelier.
I can't say the word, save my life. I'm not even going to try. Linda from My Sommelier Friend. Our friends from De Terra Cucina are also providing our members with a 12% discount on their cookware for the season. So that's a great bonus. And the cool thing about our club is that you also, if you're busy on any of those given Saturdays, no worries, the replay video will be ready for you within 24 hours of class. So you can still cook alongside Chicca whenever you do have the time. And we like to say it's tastier than Netflix. In fact, we have over 70 classes that you can go back through on demand, so you can make other pastas, meatballs, risottos, ravioli, and 4 variations of tiramisu. And you'll have the shopping list, the recipe, and the class replay for each class at the ready. Our members have loved adding their favorite class recipes to the regular rotation and for their other special occasions. So, Paolo, you want to talk about our
Sorry. Yes, I just wanted to say that the club membership is much more though than just a bundle of classes. Let's say it's like traveling to Tuscany each month. It's also being part of a supportive global community and gaining the confidence to cook amazing food with Chicca, but in your kitchen. Gonna go next slide. And some of our members actually do the classes with a loved one, but in separate locations. You can see cooking members, Marcy and Sherry, that they cook together, and then after the class they get together to talk about it and compare their notes. Other members call our classes their date night, and we've seen people also hosting cooking parties during our classes, or when someone needs inspiration, they use our recipes that they learn from Chicca to cook them at their parties. And it's really been fun to see families and friends cooking together in their kitchens.
And the cost of becoming a member is $149 for 4 months and 6 online classes that are live from Tuscany, and they run from December through March. We think that's a bargain, and registration for the season is open now, and we only open up registration for a short time, and we're open now from now till December 31st. And if you do miss that deadline, then you can sign up for individual classes by purchasing a la carte classes, and but membership will not reopen again until April.
And yeah, if you sign up for the club membership today, you also get Chicca's cookbook with 30 vegetarian recipes from starter to dessert. It's a special bonus for you today. So again, if you become a member before the end of the day today, we will send you a free digital copy of Chicca's cookbook.
To sign up for membership, go to the website and that you see on the screen, and Paolo is going to drop that in the chat for you now as well.
Denise, sorry, I think this is not the good link. It's a Save the Magic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will, the correct link will be in the email that goes out to you.
Yeah. Okay. Because this is the wrong link.
Okay. So, to sign, so anyway, you can go, the link that we're going to send to you, go to that link. And then if you have any issues whatsoever, you can email me at club@cookingattuscany.com. And
or you can share the club page also.
Yeah, and
okay.
Just put that in the chat as well, which is the cookingattuscany.cc/club. And so let's check the chat for some questions. And we always love to take a Zoom screenshot to commemorate our gnocchi party before we go. But before we do that, Chicca, is there anything you want to add about the cooking club?
Yeah, I wanna say that it's I think for me and for my team it's not only cooking together, sharing the recipes, that we put a lot of effort so you get the best experience, but it's more about the connection. We have a private Facebook group, very live, and also we stay in contact also by emails. I always respond. You can always email me for any issues about recipes. Sometimes, you know, our members are always sharing their private life, and sometimes we have very nice emails also hard times, good times, and so it's really a community that makes us happy. And during these past 3 years, I made many new friends, and now, if you like, I can be your new friends in Italy that you can cook with. And many members also came to visit Tuscany, to our place. We also have 2 apartments for rent, so you can stay with us and we can show you around.
Awesome. And we did have one question that someone had some dough left, so they wanted to know if they could wrap it up and use it in the future.
Yes, you can try. Yeah. But this dough gets dry, you know, so wrap it up in a plastic film. But I would do the gnocchi now, actually, because this dough, it's better to handle when it's still warm. When it gets too cold, it gets also dry.
And we did cover a lot of questions when we were just talking, but when you do have classes, there's a lot of the recipe PDFs have a lot of answers to the questions in there as well. We also have an FAQ section on the website, and we're here via email. It's me who answers the emails. So yeah, we're here to help you have the best experience that you possibly can. And but before our party comes to an end, one of our class traditions, like I said, is do a quick screenshot together. So if you'd like to participate, please make sure that your video is on, and bring your gnocchi up to the screen. And we're going to do a couple of photos here. So or if you didn't make gnocchi, let's just bring your pretty face up and let's just do a nice smile here. And we're gonna take a couple of photos. So 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, again, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take another picture. Keep smiling, keep smiling. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, thank you so much. It was really fun to see you today. And if you have any photos that you've taken today, we'd love for you to share them with us on social media. And Chicca, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed cooking with us. And also I hope you join us for the next 6 recipes. It's winter. The kitchen is the perfect place to stay together and have fun. So thank you very much and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Ciao.
Yeah,
Bye,
and
everyone.
before we go, we'll invite you to unmute.
Holidays.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you. And
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Ciao.
Thank you.